Well, hello everybody. My name is Sammy Banda, and today we're going to talk about crime and sin, how a Christian worldview looks at it. First, let's start off by briefly describing the differences between crime and sin. Okay, a crime is an act that violates a law established by a government and is punishable by the legal system, while sin is a violation of moral or religious laws, often seen as an offense against a higher power or God. And then we're going to go into a more detailed breakdown, which talks about crime. Let's start with crime. The definition: an act of omission that is prohibited by law for which a penalty is described. The legal system. Crimes are defined and enforced by the legal system of a particular country or region. Sorry, y'all. Punishment for crimes is penalties for crimes can include fines, imprisonment, or other legal sanctions. Examples of crime is murder, theft, assault, drug possession, and traffic, and it keeps going after that. Now let's talk about sin. The definition of sin: a violation of moral or religious laws, often seen as an offense against a higher power or God. A moral/religious system. Sins are often defined within a specific region, religious or moral framework. The punishment for this, the concept of punishment for sins varies depending on the religious or moral framework and may include eternal damnation, sorry, but I had to say it, or simply a sense of guilt or shame. And examples of this is lying, cheating, envy, anger, and disrespect. Also, every crime is a sin, but every sin does not need to be a crime. Here's an example. Adultery is a moral wrong and is considered a sin. At the same time, adultery is not a crime because it is not made punishable under any law in the United States. Another difference is penalties for crimes cease either when they are fulfilled, served, or dispensed by the competent, and sins are absolved in the sacramental form, confessions. Here's a few Bible verses that I picked out. 1 John 3:5. But you know that he appeared so that he might take away our sins, and in him there is no sin. Romans 13:1. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Romans 13:2. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves. And 13:3. These are ones that hit me. For rulers hold no terror for those who do right, but for those who do wrong. Do you want to be free from fear of the one in authority? Then do what is right and you will be commended. Now let's talk about if some crimes should be considered a sin. Give examples, you said. So let's try this. Yes, I do believe that there are some crimes that are not sinful. Example, a religious person might consider a type of food sin, but it is not illegal. Crimes are defined and enforced by human law. Certain traffic violations might be crimes, but are not generally considered sins. Dealing with crack cocaine, as an example, is a crime, but is not necessarily considered a sin in all religious traditions. We also have some sins should not be considered a crime. What do y'all think? Me, sins are defined and enforced by religious or moral code. In some religions, traditions, certain types of good or drink might be considered, food or drink, might be considered sin. But again, it is not illegal. Also, thinking negatively about somebody else is considered a sin, but it's not a crime. There are also things that are both crimes and sin. How should these be defined? Some acts can be both a crime and a sin, such as murder. We also need to remember that Christianity has a big influence on our laws today. I think that the biggest thing I wish people would understand is that a lot of our laws today are from biblical standing points. You know, God says obey the law of the land in Romans 13:1-2. And here are some verses you can read on your own. It's Romans 3:10-19. Believe me, you'll really love them if you read them. But there's my report. I hope y'all enjoyed it.